Chico stick. I wanna donut, oh, cause you so thick.
Okay, I'm ready to do this. Excuse my hair. It's probably gonna be a wash day today. Okay, I wanna give y'all a life update. I hope y'all can hear me until I invest in more equipment. But I wanna do a life update. I wanna talk about what's been going on. I wanna talk about obedience. I wanna talk about my spiritual walk. And yeah, let's get into it. So first off, let me tell y'all, I had a full vlog recorded, edited and everything. It was almost ready to go. I was just adding a couple more sounds to the background. Basically, long story short, I was DJing in Cancun for a wedding, and my MacBook stopped working just hours before the wedding started, and I lost everything. Like, I lost everything. Now, all my music was still there because all my music was synced to my cloud, but as far as my folders, like my Serato was not backed up. I didn't have my time machine backed up. Nothing that I had spent all this past year reorganizing after I had to replace my MacBook. It was all gone. So I've been starting over my entire music library. Not only that, I lost a really good vlog. I do still have the videos, so I may drop a few in here. I don't think that I want to sit here and edit that entire video again because it just irritated me so much that I lost it and it was already ready to go. So I feel like maybe that's a sign from God to just go ahead and jump to this conversation that I've been meaning to jump to. If you know me personally, I've kind of talked about my frustrations with the nightlife industry and how I kind of feel like I just personally, I don't think it's for me anymore. You know, shout out to the people that can still find a way to enjoy it. I haven't enjoyed it in a really long time. And it's crazy because like before the pandemic, I actually stopped doing clubs. Like I quit clubs back in 2019 and I was like, I'm just gonna do special events, things like that. Got more into weddings, but once I lost my full-time job, I was like, okay, you know what, God, this is time for me to go ahead and go full-time now. And like full-time as a DJ. So I started to pursue that, but then the pandemic happened, life shut down, there was nowhere for me to work. This was also around the time my daughter's father and I got back together. And it was just a lot going on, like a lot of change, a lot of instant change. I was basically like kind of DJing full time, but that was mainly because the fact that like my family was back together as a unit, like we were able to work that out. Like I didn't have to take on certain gigs just to pay bills because we were together. My ex was taking care of most things financially. So we split up like summer 2021, and then but before we split up like summer 2021, I took on a contract job with this company. I still had like my own bills and credit cards I need to pay off. I'm like, thank you, but mama's got some big girl bills that I need to take care of. So, you know, he was great with taking care of London, but it was just certain things that I needed for me. So I went back to working. My contract with that company was until January. Actually, it wasn't until January 2022. It was only for a couple more months, but we extended twice. By January 2022, my manager, you know, asked if there was any other jobs that I was interested within the company and that he could help me get it. And, you know, he would talk to some people, and I was just kind of like, you know, actually, I think it's just time that I focus on my career, my personal side business, DJing. I can't remember how I said that to him, but I didn't really like everybody that I worked with knowing what I was doing, because at my last job, let me tell you, they was nosy. They was nosy as hell. They was counting my pockets. My old manager was counting my pockets. Sidebar, let me tell y'all, he was cool. Like we had our moments where we got along. Like we honestly started at the same position, but I didn't have the same goals as other people had in that job because I didn't really care about it like that. I knew it wasn't a space that I wanted to grow in. But let me tell y'all, he would just make little comments like about me DJing, and it would just be like, it was just a little rude. It was just a little rude. There were certain like remarks and little comments that he said, but this was what I really thought was shady, because this is back when I got my little baby Beamer. And I didn't want them to know, but of course they find out. You know, they always find a way to find out. I think I had my keys and I was getting ready to leave. And one of my coworkers was looking at it, and he just yelled it out to everybody in our department. And I'm like, all right, here this ninja go, telling everybody. So once that happened, he started making comments in the meeting like, you know, if anybody wants to pick up some overtime, if anybody wants to pick up some overtime to pay a car payment. I was looking at him like, all right, who is he talking to? Get Charles Mans. Who is he talking to? The girl that he was schmanging, which I don't know if it's his wife now. Shout out to them. They cute together, whatever. Anywho, her daddy had just bought her a car, and she had made a little comment, like, because everybody was like talking about mine, and she was like, oh, well, mine was a gift. Okay, girl, like, who cares? Who cares? Anyways, I didn't like that because it's like, you over here counting my pockets. You're not realizing, sir, that I make more as a DJ than I do here throughout the week. I can get what I get in a week here in a day. Are you kidding me? All right. So that was the reason why I really did. That was one of the reasons why I didn't want everybody knowing, people knowing what I did. And once I moved on to another company. All right. So he's like, all right, cool, or whatever, you know, wish you well. So I leave there. And everything just takes off. It's like when you show God, like, hey, I trust you and I'm putting my faith in you, things just take off. And that's exactly what happened. Like, everything was just really good. Everything's still good up until this point. Like, that was January 2022, and this is a year and a half later. It's August 2023. Still full-time DJ. I'm still, you know, still operating. Everything's good. But I'm just in a space now where I fell back into the nightlife. I fell back into clubs. And I'm remembering why I walked away. And the more I walk with God, the more I follow Christ, the more I don't want to. Is my light going down? I might have to move. But the more that I'm just growing spiritually, the more I'm growing with my age. I mean, I'm 32 now. Like, clubs, they just don't feel the same anymore. And for me as a DJ, like, you know, I like to follow my own words, but then again, you still have to play what people want to hear, and they be wanting that shit trapped out, and that's okay for a little bit, but that just, it don't feel good. And I'm tired of sending that message. I don't want to send that message. If I'm gonna play music, I'm gonna play music that makes people feel good, makes people happy. The energy's just different. Now, I'm not saying I'm not going to do certain shows. Like, I will still do things at, like, Music Yard and maybe places like, just places with just a different vibe. But I have to walk away from a certain culture of nightlife. That might be a better way for me to face. I have to walk away from a certain culture of nightlife, which I thought that I already walked away from. But there's levels. There's levels to it. And, yeah, so that's just kind of where I'm at with it. I want to talk about fasting. I started fasting in October of last year. It started with me not doing meats, processed foods, sugars, carbs. I wasn't eating anything but fruits and vegetables. And I wanted to do it for 21 days. I say I want to do it for 21 days because it didn't fully last, because by the end of week 2, I was like, God, listen, you know I work at nightlife. I need some protein. I need some chicken. So I started back eating chicken, but everything else I continue to stay away from. Now, also, a part of that fast, I had no sex.
I haven't had no sex.
I had no sex, okay? So that was a part of my fast. I did not want to be giving my body away at that time. I also cut out masturbation. I'm going to get personal here. I cut out masturbation. I cut out porn. I was introduced at a very young age. And it wasn't somebody that personally introduced it to me. I mean, HBO at 11 o'clock, like, we still up. We see that. So from that, I feel like that had a chokehold on my sex life and how I moved and how I operated with that and how I pleasured myself and how it was just, I don't know. I mean, everybody got a little season of promiscuity, you know? I'm not gonna act like I haven't been perfect. I mean, I do have a child, but I have a child with a man that I was in love with, so that's different. But anywho, so I cut those things out. So by the end of my fast, I was like, you know what, God, like, I like how I'm feeling. I like how my life is moving right now. I like the things that you like, the sacrifices that I've given you. It just feels like you're giving me more promises, like you're giving me more opportunities and things like that. And so I was like, you know what, let's keep it this way. I'm going to continue to stay away from masturbation and from sex and men, like overall, like until I really like know for sure what I want and who I want. And I'm not saying that I'm celibate or anything. I'm not even saying that I'm abstinent. I'm not labeling it. I'm just operating on what works for me right now, and that's not entertaining any of that or anyone without real intention. So kept that going. I didn't put a date on it or anything, but I say that to say that August 20, I don't know when this video will be out, I celebrate a year. Yeah, I celebrate a year on August 20th. I'm extremely proud of myself. And I celebrate a year on August 20th because though the fast started in October, my boyfriend at the time, he actually started a contract in Kuwait. So he left around that time, and that was, you know, I looked at the calendar and I knew that was the last time that I had, you know, any pleasure or physical touch or intimacy. But the fast did not start until October. So I just still want to celebrate because go me.
A win is a win. A win is a win. I don't care what y'all say.
I think I'm going to have to do a separate video though, like talking about obedience and stuff, because this is more so just like a catch up on what's been going on with my life, where I'm headed. And quite frankly, y'all, I don't know. I don't know what's happening right now, but I know that my faith is so high. My faith is just like, I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay. So I think I'm gonna do a video on obedience. I think I'm gonna do a video on the pros and cons of DJing in the nightlife industry. Whew, if I could tell y'all so many stories, which I will, I just have to figure out a good way to tell them without sharing too much information to give away names and spaces, because I want to still respect all parties involved while still sharing my truth. I really realized like that I couldn't do it anymore when I started to notice a pattern. Like I would wake up the next day and I would be so hungover. Now I'm not even like, what's the word? I don't drink on the daily. Like I don't drink just to be drinking. But if I'm out socializing, then like I do drink or whatever. But what I realized is there are certain gigs that I don't need to have a drink at, and I can have a wonderful time. I can be sober the whole night and just have a wonderful time. Like I can just DJ the whole night with nothing to drink, and I can have so much fun. But then I realized in nightlife, I can't do that. I have to have drinks. I have to have a drink to start off the night. I have to have drinks throughout the night. And that's the only way that I feel like I was really getting through these nights. Through my fast, that was really hard. Like really hard. I mean, imagine being a DJ who drinks and has to have a drink to get the party going, and you're in the middle of a fast. So when that was happening, I had to go in the bathroom and like pray. Whew, y'all, the testimony is gonna be crazy. When I'm finally ready to share everything, like everything is gonna be crazy. But I am just tired of waking up feeling like crap because I drank so much the night before just to get through the night, just so that I can have energy to listen to that kind of music. You know, I'm not saying I have anything against secular music, what the Christians say. I am a follower of Christ, but I still have my music that I like and I listen to, but I feel like these days I'm more into R&B. I used to be big on trap, hip-hop, rap, but these days, if it's not like, who can I name? I don't know, if it's not like an alternative rap artist, I can't get into it. I've never been able to get into like commercial hip hop anyway. Like once the Soulja Boy era kind of, you know, no shade to him because that's a legend and he has the bops. But once that era kind of was ushered in, it's been hard for me to just listen to certain things. I can't do it anymore. I can't. So yeah, with that being said, I can't, the fact that I don't listen to it anymore, it's hard for me to know what to play in the club because I'm not connected anymore. I'm not tapped in. I'm not really on that frequency anymore, which has moved down. The frequency is lower. It used to be at 432 when shit used to feel good and doesn't feel good anymore. Now I will say I'm not going to be on here just making Christian content, but like I said earlier, I'm a follower of Christ, but I'm also a human at the end of the day. I'm not perfect. I still curse here and there. But yeah, I love the Lord. Just keeping it hot. And this is just me being transparent on my current journey. But yeah, I got really tired of waking up in the morning feeling like a dog. I feel like a whole day would be wasted because I was spending the day recovering, getting ready to go out and DJ again. You know, it's just exhausting. And then to be a single mom as a DJ as well, like, that shit is hard. Like, granted, I've been doing this her whole life. She'll be 10 this year. I started learning like 13 years ago. And so I've done it her whole life. I just feel like it's harder for me to be present with her because say if I have a show, I'm like stressed. I'm like, I can't fully be there with her in the moment because I'm too busy thinking about what I gotta do, what I gotta do, what I gotta do, what I gotta do, what I gotta do. And I just feel like, with that being said, like I need to stop taking on gigs that make me feel like that. I'm not quitting. This is not me announcing a full retirement, just my retirement from nightlife. Oh, hold up. I need to get back. I need to get in this light. Hold up. I need to readjust. I can't tell if that's better, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start wrapping this video because it's getting pretty long and I feel like I'm babbling. I'm all over the place. I should have wrote some notes, but I had to find a way for me to just go ahead and dive back into my vlogging because when you put too much thought into things, they don't happen. Perfection leads to procrastination, and I have a really bad habit of doing that. So yeah, it sucks that my old vlog that I was gonna do to kind of say, hey y'all, and update y'all on other things, it's gone. But I'll share some clips and I'll talk a little bit about what I've been up to. Make sure y'all subscribe if you want to rock with me on this journey. Maybe I'll start doing some hair tutorial videos as well. I'll still continue to vlog me doing events and hanging out with my friends, but it's gonna roll back into the clips that you guys miss. Mommy got a big pimple.
Mommy's so beautiful.
All right, do you want to update them on life? You want to tell them what we've been up to since we haven't vlogged since like November?
Yes. Let's do a life update.
Life update. Well, first things first. I don't know if y'all remember my grandma that was in the last vlog with us, not the turkey.
Can I say it?
Yes, you can say it.
Watch
Watch out, there's glass right there.
My grandma. Anyway, you know our grandma that was in the last vlog, it was the last banger that we had the vlog. She passed away.
Yep, she passed away. What was that, end of February, early March?
It was sad. I was crying. And I spoke.
She did. London got up and spoke at the funeral. She did really good. We all wore pink because Grandma loved pink. Tell them how your last week of school went.
Hey! F them kids.
Do not say that.
I don't like them, but my mama loves those kids. So I won first place in the talent show. First place. Because I'm always in first. Never second, never third, but first.
Period. She killed it. Baby girl got out there. She danced to On My Mama. And this was actually just a few days before Victoria Monet released her rendition. And then after that, it was my birthday. Had fun, and I decided we gotta get back to vlogging and catching y'all up on life. So we're gonna roll into the footage.